Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video, I'll be showing you the best features of the Vivo V17 Pro. By the way guys, I've already made a dedicated video for the tips and tricks section. Link for that is in the description, do check it out. I've talked about many things in that video which I won't be covering in this video. So definitely check out that video. Now for this video, first I'll go through all the hardware features and then the software features. So if you are bored anywhere, just skip ahead. Now with that said, the first best thing about this phone is that dual selfie pop-up camera. It is a dual camera setup in that pop-up camera mechanism. It has a 32 megapixel primary selfie camera with f2.0 aperture and an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, once again for selfies. Now this pop-up mechanism has auto retraction and also has drop protection. Here's a quick preview of drop protection. Now these are some sample shots. By the way, this wide angle camera has 105-degree field of view and you do get some super wide selfies. Once again, these are the sample shots. Next, this phone also has a quad camera setup on the rear with a 48 megapixel primary camera with f1.8 aperture. These are some sample shots taken with the primary camera. Now the next best feature on this phone is that in-display fingerprint scanner. Vivo says it can unlock the phone in 0.39 seconds. I never timed it. Anyway, fingerprint scanner on this phone is super fast and as fast as any other flagship out there. Now the next best thing about this phone is definitely its display. This phone has a 6.44-inch Super AMOLED display with Full HD Plus resolution, protected by 2.5D curved Corning Gorilla Glass 6. Now Vivo calls it the Ultra Full View display. There's no notch, there's no cutout, you just have the display with a pretty slim bezel all around, and it gives you a very immersive experience when you use it, especially while playing games or even while watching videos. Now the next best thing about this phone would be performance. This phone sports a Snapdragon 675 processor with Adreno 612 GPU with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. Now this is the same processor from the Vivo V15 Pro, but still it's a pretty good one and it can suffice you if you're a normal user. Next we have Assistant Face Unlock feature. Now this phone has Face Unlock feature but it doesn't work directly. If you enable Assistive Face Unlock feature, Face Unlock works only when the fingerprint scanner fails 3 times. Face Unlock itself is pretty fast but the pop-up mechanism is slow, and because of that, Face Unlock feels much slower. Overall it's usable, but most of the time you don't even have to use it. Fingerprint scanner is that good. Next we have some new navigation gestures. Once you enable it, you can swipe from the bottom center to go home, swipe and hold for recent apps, swipe from the left side for control center, and finally to go back, you can either swipe from the right side or swipe from the left side or right side to go back a step. These new gestures are pretty cool and much more usable than the previous gestures. Next we have a dedicated dark mode. Now once you enable this feature, it turns all the UI elements into a dark theme, and now the phone looks much more cooler and it strains your eyes a bit less at night. You can also schedule it to turn on automatically at a specific time. Now once you have enabled dark mode, some of the stock apps like Phone Dialer and SMS application also change their theme, which is pretty good. Next we have fingerprint animations. If you're bored with the default or stock fingerprint animation, you can change it from settings. We have 7 different animation styles and you can pick the one that you like. Here's a quick preview. Next, we can also change the camera pop-up sounds. We have sci-fi, mechanic, and rhythm, and you can pick the one that you like. Or else, you can just mute it like me. Here's a quick preview. Next we have a dedicated smart button on the left side. Vivo also calls it the AI button. We get 3 different actions with it. We can either do a single click, double click or a long press. It might sound fancy, but most of the time I've just used it for Google Assistant. Next we have custom Google Assistant functions. Now Vivo V17 Pro is probably one of the first few phones to have custom Google Assistant functions. You can ask your Google Assistant to do things like take a photo in night mode or search for a dog in Vivo Album, which only work on this phone. Next we have Smart Split. Now this is a fancy name given by Vivo for the regular split screen mode. On previous Vivo phones, we were able to use split screen mode only for few applications. But on this phone, we can use it with most of the applications. Next, we have a wide angle camera on this phone. This phone has an 8 megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture with a wide angle lens, and it does take some pretty wide angle pictures. These are some sample shots. Next, we have super macro mode. Now Vivo uses the same 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera to take macro shots, and they do look pretty good. These are some sample shots. Next, we also get a telephoto lens on this phone. This phone has a 13 megapixel camera with f2.5 aperture which offers 2x optical zoom and up to 10x digital zoom. These are some sample shots. Next, we have a brand new night mode for the rear camera. This is the camera interface. And now these are some sample shots. Next, we have a dedicated night mode even for selfies. Vivo calls it the super night mode. These are some sample shots. Next, we have Pose Master. Now this is a brand new feature that Vivo offers that will allow you to take better pictures in different poses. Once you enable this feature, a frame appears on the screen to track your position and guides you into stylish poses that stands out from the crowd. And at the end of the day, it makes you a pose master. Next, we have panorama selfies. Now this feature allows you to take panorama shots using the front-facing camera, and thereby you get a much more wider shot. Next, we have portrait mode for both the front and rear cameras. In the camera interface, even though there is a dedicated portrait mode for both the front and rear cameras, you need to enable this particular toggle to actually take a portrait shot. Otherwise, it doesn't work. It's probably a software bug and can be fixed with a future update. Now these are some sample shots. Next, we have 4D game vibration. Now this is a new feature that Vivo brought in with the Vivo Z1 Pro, and once you enable this feature, you can have your phone vibrate differently for gunshots on games like PUBG. Next, we have game counter, and once you enable this feature for games like PUBG, once you start the PUBG game and minimize it for some reason, it gives you a counter in a floating bubble showing you the countdown until the game starts. You can also click the bubble to open the game instantly. Next, we have voice changer. Now for some reason, if you want to hide your actual voice while playing games like PUBG, you can do it with this feature. Next, we have game assistant. Once you enable this feature for a particular game, you can swipe on the left side corner to bring up a panel with some quick actions. Here's a quick preview. Next, this phone also comes with dual engine fast charging, or you can also call it regular fast charging. This phone has a massive 4100 mAh battery and supports fast charging up to 18 watts. Now going on next, this phone even has Face Beauty mode. Now the name seems very familiar, but usually most of the phones just improve your skin tones. But on this phone, we can make real-time changes to your face. Like we can change the skin tones, whiten it, make your face thinner, reshape your face, and do a lot more stuff like that. Now this feature might be replaced with a regular AI mode in the future update. Now going on next, this phone even has space lighting effects. Now just like the iPhone X, we can choose different lighting effects while taking portrait selfies. We can choose between natural light, studio light, stereo light, and monochrome background. Next, this phone even offers electronic image stabilization while recording video. Here's the sample footage. Right now stabilization isn't all that great, but with a future update, it might improve. Next, this phone even offers slow motion video recording. And here's the sample footage. Next, we have AR stickers. Now using this feature, we can simply add stickers to our face. There are a lot of them, and you can simply spice up your selfie game with all these stickers. Next, we have a pretty unique feature called short refocus. Now, unlike other phones which simply take a portrait shot, on this phone, you can actually select a focus point and change the amount of blur effect you want before taking a picture, and even after taking a picture, Open the picture in the default gallery application. Once again, from here you can change the focus point and the amount of background blur effect you want. Now going on next, we have navigation gestures. Just like the iPhone X, we have navigation gestures on this phone. Once you enable it, you can swipe from the left side for the control center. Those are the notification toggles. Next, we can swipe from the center to go home, swipe and hold for recent tabs, and swipe on the right side to go back. If we don't like this setup, we can always swap the left and right gestures. Next, we have always on display. Now this phone comes with an AMOLED display, and if you really want to take complete advantage of the screen, maybe you want to turn on the display all the time, you can use this feature called always on display to keep the display always on and display important information like the time and notifications. From these settings, you can change the clock style, and you also get the option to automatically turn on and turn off always on display at a specific time, which is really handy. Next, we have double click to light. Now just like the name suggests, once you enable this feature, you can double tap the screen when the phone is locked to wake it up. This goes very well with face unlock feature. You just need to double tap the screen to wake it up, and once your camera sees your face, it will immediately unlock the phone. Overall, you will get a much more immersive experience. Next, we have some camera gestures. First one is touch to capture. Simply touch the screen to capture the shot. Next, we have voice capture. Once you enable this feature, every time you say cheese, your phone will take a picture.
Shoot. Cheese. Cheese.
Now the final gesture is palm. Just show your palm to your camera and it will take a picture in 2 seconds. I find this feature really handy while taking selfies. Next, we have live photo mode. Now once you enable this feature, along with the picture, your phone will record few seconds as video and link it with that picture. And you can check out the video in this way. It just adds a little story to every picture you take. It's a nice feature. Next, we have a feature called App Clone. Now this feature allows you to use 2 versions of the same application. We just need to enable this toggle, and once you go to the home screen, you can find 2 instances of the same application. So let's say if you want to use 2 Facebook accounts, 2 WhatsApp accounts, or 2 Instagram accounts, using this feature we can do it. It's a cool feature, but it only supports few social media applications. Now going on next, we have a feature called Smart Click. It's a quick shortcut to allow you to perform some actions when you press and hold the volume down button when the display is off. From the settings page you can configure the action, but personally I like to use the flash. When the phone is locked, I can simply press and hold the volume down button to toggle the flash. By the way, it doesn't work if you're playing some music. Next, we have one-handed mode. This phone has a massive screen and obviously you need 2 hands to use this phone. But for some reason, if you want to use this phone single-handedly, or maybe unlock the password or use the keypad single-handedly, you can do all that from these settings. To completely shrink the screen, you can do this gesture. You can do it again to maximize the screen. Next, we have 3-finger screenshot. Now before I show you how to use that, let me show you how to take a normal screenshot. Just press the volume down and power button both at the same time to take a screenshot. It is very simple and works with almost all the Android phones. Now coming back to 3-finger screenshot, simply enable this feature and swipe up using 3 fingers to take a screenshot. I really love this feature and nowadays most of the phones are offering this feature. Now going on next, we have long screenshot. Now for some reason, if you want to take a longer screenshot, maybe a screenshot of a web page or something else, first you need to take a regular screenshot. Now you will get a small preview. Click that and then click long screenshot button to take a longer screenshot. Anyway, going on next, we have a gesture like double tap to sleep. Now once you enable this feature, you can simply double tap on an empty area on your home screen or your lock screen to lock your phone. This is kind of a unique feature and I wish we could do it even on the status bar. Next we have raise to wake gesture. Now just like the name suggests, once you enable this feature, whenever you pick up your phone, screen lights up and shows you the lock screen. If you have enabled face unlock feature, every time you lift your phone, display lights up, front facing camera sees your face and immediately unlocks the phone. Once again, just like the double tap to wake feature, even this feature gives you a much more immersive experience while unlocking the phone. Next, we have a lot of smart call features, which I would recommend you to check them out yourself. You can put your phone near your ear to lift the call, hold it in the hand to turn on the speaker mode, swipe over the proximity sensor to lift the call, and do some other stuff. Now going on next, we can shake the phone to turn on the flash. Now once you enable this feature, you can shake your phone in the lock screen or the home screen to turn on the flash. Once the flash is turned on, you can press the power button to turn it off. If you enable double tap to sleep, it is kinda hard to use this feature. Personally, I never use this feature. Instead, I use smart click feature. Now going on next, we have smart reminder. Now once you enable this feature, every time you have a missed call or a notification, whenever you pick up your phone, you will get a gentle reminder. Next we have super screenshot. I've already shown you how to take a regular screenshot, long screenshot and the 3-finger screenshot gesture, but this one still offers a lot of things related to screenshot. To use the super screenshot feature, just open the notification bar or the control center from the bottom and press the S capture toggle. From here you can take a long screenshot, rectangular screenshot, even record the screen and take some funny screenshots. Now going on next, we have flashlight notification. Once you enable this feature or the toggle, every time you get a call or a message, LED light on the back flickers, giving you a visible indication. It will come in handy if your phone is in silent mode in a dark room. Next we have Easy Touch, which is like a floating bubble, just like on the iPhone, with some additional options. You can single tap it for additional options, and you can also choose a custom action for double tap, like going back, going to the home screen, pulling down the notification bar, or taking a screenshot. It is exactly like the floating bubble on the iPhone. Now going on next, we have eye protection mode. According to a research, using smartphones, tablets or anything that emits blue light at night affects your sleep. So once you enable this feature, it puts a warm tint on the screen and filters all the blue light. You can also change the intensity of the tint to make the display look more warmer or a little bit lighter, and we can also automatically turn it on and turn it off at a specific time. Next we have Face Beauty for video call. Now this is kind of a unique feature that can be found only on the Oppo and Vivo phones. For some reason, if you want to use Face Beauty mode while making a video call, especially for apps like WhatsApp and Skype, this phone allows you to do that. Next we have Super Power Saver mode. Once you enable this feature, all the applications running in the background will be killed and you will be given access to only few applications like Phone Dialer, Messenger and some other apps. These are the only applications that you can use. But once you enable this feature, it will drastically improve your battery life. Let's say you are running really low on battery and don't want your phone to die, just want to answer a few calls, just enable this mode and your phone will last for hours. Now going on next, this phone even comes with an app lock built into the system. For the first time when you open it up, it will ask you to set a password and then select the applications that you want to lock. Now the best thing about this phone is we can unlock the locked applications using password or the fingerprint scanner or even by using face unlock feature. So if you use face unlock feature, most of the time when you open a locked application, because of super fast face unlock feature, you won't even see the lock screen. Next we have task timer. This feature is also called a scheduled power on and power off on other phones, and as the name suggests, it will allow you to power off and power on your phone at a specific time. Next we have a feature called network management, where we can disable internet access to applications or Wi-Fi and mobile data. Normally many people won't be using this feature, but if you're someone who wants absolute control over your phone, or maybe you don't want applications to access internet, or if you want to block games on your phone, you can use this feature and block internet access to those applications. Next we have wireless display. Using this feature we can cast the screen of your phone to a smart TV or any device with Mirrorcast. As far as I've tested it, it works with Mirrorcast but doesn't work with a Chromecast. Next we have floating video player. Now this is a stock video player that comes pre-installed on this phone, and once you play a video in this application, it gives you the option to play the video in a floating window, and this is how it looks like. In the normal mode, we can swipe on the right side to change the volume, swipe on the left side to change the brightness, and swipe left or right to change the playback position. Next we have bike mode. Now this is a brand new feature that's popping up in all the phones, which gives you additional options like rejecting all the calls when you're in a ride. You can also accept few favorite calls. You can configure it in that way. You also get the feature to auto respond with a message and prevent you from answering calls if your speed is more than 10 km per hour. Next we have background apps. By default, this phone is configured to kill all the applications running in the background after some time. But if you don't want some applications to be killed, say like WhatsApp or Facebook, you can whitelist those applications from here. Next we have AUTOSTART management. When you kill applications from the recent apps page, some applications restart automatically and run in the background. Apps like Facebook and WhatsApp might be important, but apps like Amazon, Flipkart or even UC browser need not run in the background. So from this page, you can block such applications from restarting in the background and thereby improve the battery life. Next we have auto call recording. If you're someone like me who wants to record all the calls that they make or get, We can do it on this phone. Just go to the phone dialer settings and we have the option to record all the calls on this phone automatically. So guys, those were all the best features about this phone. If I missed out on anything important, do let me know by commenting below this video, and definitely check out my video on tips and tricks. Link will be in the description. Now if you're planning to buy this phone, please use the link in the description, and if you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag ASKGREEDYTECH on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.